Hey folks, welcome back. So today I'm going to brew a partial mash beer by Little John's Brewing in Australia. I'm pretty sure everyone out there knows John, and if you don't, you really should. I've watched his channel almost since the very beginning, and I've always liked what he has to say. In fact, I have a quote from one of John's videos right over here on the wall. Been there for almost 8 years now. And I'll put a link in the description to that video, so be sure to check that out. Right, so my original plan was to brew his StarDorado Pale Ale, which is a 40-minute partial mash and a 40-minute boil with Southern Star and Eldorado hops. Well, I can't get Southern Star in the US at this time, but the recipe only calls for a single 10-gram addition of Southern Star at 40 minutes. Not much in the way of bitterness or flavor to be gained from that, and so John suggested replacing the Southern Star with Amarillo. He added that he once brewed an Eldorado ale, which of course has Amarillo and Eldorado. It turned out really nice, and so Amarillo it will be. He also suggested adding a small touch of Amarillo to each hop addition throughout the boil, like on a 1-to-3 ratio. 1 part Amarillo to 3 parts Eldorado, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. Also, there were a couple questions I had about the grain bill, and John helped me get that sorted out. So all good there. As for the extract portion of the recipe, instead of liquid malt, I'm going to use dry malt extract, as I always do anyway. And that's pretty much it. I'll be sure to put links in the description to the StarDorado Brew Day and Tasting videos, so be sure to check them out as well. And now it's time to mill the grains and get brewing. Okay, I've got my hops weighed out and my salts for the water additions. I went for a finer grain crush since I am using the bag. And then I've got 3 pounds of Golden Light dry malt extract, which I will do as I usually do. And that is to dissolve that in a separate pot ahead of time and gently heat it up so that it's ready to go in to the main pot at the end of the boil. So this is wort B. This will become wort A. And there you have it. Okay, so I'm heating up my strike water. This is distilled, so building my own water profile. Go the brewing salts. We're just coming up to a boil now. So that's wort A, and here is wort B. That's the dry malt extract mixed with 2 quarts of distilled water. Alright, I'm ready for the first hop addition. It's just 10 grams of Amarillo. And this will boil for 40 minutes. Got about 15 minutes left, so put in the Rolflock tablet. And wort B is heating up nicely. I'll be adding that to wort A momentarily. Okay, it's time for the next hop addition. 11 grams of Eldorado, 3.6 grams of Amarillo. The wort B has a nice simmer going, so it's time to add that to wort A. Time for our 2-minute addition, which is 20 grams of Eldorado and 6.6 grams of Amarillo. So use a different hop stock for this one. There they go. All right, it's time to taste the beer. But first, a big shout out to little John. Thanks, John, for helping out on this recipe and answering my questions and all that, and for being an inspiration all these years. Now, some of you might remember that John asked for one of my recipes a while back, which was a great honor, and I sent him my Sherwood Schwarzbier recipe, which he brewed and loved. And that couldn't make me more happy. Okay, here's the recipe. And I'm calling it StarDorado Pale Ale. For starters, the percentages on the grain bill are slightly different from the original StarDorado. That's because I converted the measurements from metric to pounds and ounces. The hop schedule, it's basically the same, except for the extra Amarillo additions that John suggested. Also, I did not dry hop because I didn't know when I'd have a chance to bottle, and I didn't want the beer sitting around for a long time with hops in it. So I kind of split the difference between the flame out and dry hop additions and did a 10-minute hop stand instead. And that was 28 grams of Eldorado, 28 grams of Cryo Amarillo. It was a 5-gallon batch, or 19 liters. I used distilled water, added calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, and gypsum. The yeast was Nottingham. Original gravity, 1053, finished at 1012, 5.2% ABV, 1% higher than John's. Has about 16 IBUs. I fermented at 66 Fahrenheit or 18.8 C, and it's been in the bottle now for about 4 weeks. Finally, it's time to taste the beer. Let me pour this up, see what it looks like. Okay, well, it's not completely clear yet. It's got a big, thick white head on it. Nice golden color. Let's get the aroma. Getting a hint of malt coming through. Maybe some fruity hops. Looks good. So I'm going to head and dive in. Cheers to you and cheers to John. Oh boy. Oh. As John would say, that's a bloody good beer. Oh yeah. Got a nice burst of malt right at the start, followed by some hop fruitiness. And that fruitiness leans towards stone fruit. Nothing piney or resiny, really, that I can detect. Maybe a slight hint of citrus. But it's very balanced. And this beer recipe is not designed to be a showcase for hops necessarily. It's a balanced recipe. Yeah, I would say that the bitterness is pretty light. It only has about 16 IBUs. But it's there. The bitterness is there. It's got a full body, which I actually like. It's leaving just a little bit of lacing on the glass, and that head has diminished to less than a finger, or perhaps a pinky toe, if you want to measure your beer head that way. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with that beer. So I will finish the rest of this off camera. And thanks again, John, for all your help. And hopefully I'll be brewing another one of your recipes here in the not too distant future. So until next time, everybody take care. Cheers and bye for now.